We're now going to move into an example where we create grading objects for a pond, and we'll create the pond interior, the pond berm, and the pond daylighting. So if we come back to here, I'm going to actually start from scratch. I want to start with something clean here so we can work with. Let's create a rectangle first, and I'll turn my ortho off. We'll create that rectangle. Let's say that's a little too big. Let's just create it about that big. Let's rotate it around the middle here, and there's my pond bottom. And what we're going to do now is convert that into a feature line. So on the home tab of the ribbon, oops, I think I created a new drawing by accident, didn't mean to do that. On the home tab of the ribbon, we will create a feature line from that. So feature line, create feature line from objects. There's the pond bottom, and let's call this pond bottom. It's going into the pond site. I'll use the grading feature line style. We will erase existing entities, and I am going to assign elevations because I want to get an idea of the lay of the land underneath where my proposed pond is going to be located. And where are we getting the elevations from? The surface, and I am not going to add intermediate grade breakpoints because I just want the elevations at the vertices. And there's our pond bottom. So now let's edit those elevations to get something that's realistic here. So we'll use the elevation editor. Now I'm going to look at these and say, well, for each vertex I've got 933. Let's unselect it here. 932, 932, 931. Maybe I want my lowest elevation to be 929.5. So let's do that. Let's set this to 929.5. Oh, I just did the first one, sorry. Let's pick them all and use this button here, and we'll go 929.5. Okay, so now we have, oops, once again I'll use the flatten command, and now we have an elevation of 929.5. So that's the pond bottom. So before we grade the pond interior, let's do a little fillet on the corners. I'm going to pick the pond, and we're going to turn off edit elevations. We're going to turn on edit geometry, and let's put some fillets, some radii, small little radii on the curves. I'm going to set the radius value to 2, and we can either do each individual corner, or I'm going to right click and choose all, and there are now the 4 radii on the corners. And now we're almost ready to create the top of the berm, but what I'd like to do is assume an outlet elevation and assume the a certain slope. Okay, so I want to assume a certain slope. So lots of different ways to do this, but what I want to do is use my elevation editor, my edit elevation command here, and I'm going to hold these elevations, and I'm going to set the low side down here. So we'll use the set grade or slope between points command, and the start point is going to be here, and there's the elevation, and the end point is going to be here, and I'm going to go with a G for grade of -5%. So I want to push the flow to that direction, and we'll do it again. Start here, end here, and a G for grade of -5%. So now if I were to use the edit elevations command, and we went to G for grade, you can see here that's 5%. That's 0 around there, 0, 0, -5% down. We could even add some labels. Why don't we do that? Annotate, tab, add labels, line and curve, add line and curve labels, and we're going to choose, what do we have? Grade only, and let's add a label to here and a label to there. Okay.